Hey guys, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and today I want to talk about mostly what's inside my rope bag and how I used it. And then kind of wanted to just talk about some more books that I'm reading. But before I get into all that, I want to just take a moment and say, can you hear Nate singing? I'm not sure what song he's singing, but it sounds like some like old-timey song. But like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share. If you enjoy my videos and the content that I'm putting out, if you like seeing my pretty face, if you think my boy is adorable, he is. Like and subscribe. Help us out. Thanks. So we're doing a lot of hiking and navigating and just spending time outdoors, and that's my focus until basically things get warm enough that we can garden and really get into biking again, because I kind of feel like that's kind of all we can do right now. Plus it is fun. And so I've read these two books. They are both about compasses and navigation with maps. They cover GPSs a little bit. They have very different angles. I recommend them both, honestly. I think they're both solid reads. This one is a little bit more fun to read. It's a little bit more casually written. There's more stories. The pictures are in color. He seems to cover some things, I think, a little bit better, a little bit more in depth. And having color maps when you're looking at these examples is definitely better. The book is also just slightly bigger, which means that the pictures are also slightly bigger, just ever so slightly. But the focus of this one is adventure racing, not so much survival. So it is a little bit different. This one definitely is more academic, I would say, in its style of writing. It's a little bit drier. It's black and white, which kind of sucks. But the focus is much more on survival. And it does cover a lot of things that this one does not cover. So I think if you were only going to buy one, I'd say probably get this one. This one helps when you're making decisions on what kind of compass to buy, what kind of GPS to buy. Talks about a lot of different things like how to avoid getting lost and route planning, compass basics, map reading basics. I do like the map reading basics section of this one better than this one, to be honest. So maybe buy both. There's another book called Be Expert with Map and Compass. I probably don't need to read that one at this point, but I just might anyway, just to compare all three and see which one is better. Maybe do like a full-on review. But so I finished these two books, and now I am reading Nature Instinct. And this one isn't so much about navigation specifically, certainly not with the compass and map, but just kind of tapping into the things that our ancestors knew that we have forgotten in our cushy, lush, technology-based city lives. Being able to recognize things, actually says learn to find direction, sense danger, and even guess nature's next move faster than thought. So just kind of intuitively understanding our surroundings. You can call it maybe situational awareness if you want. I'm only about a chapter and a half in. It's a lot thicker. I ordered it off of Amazon, and it's a lot thicker than I thought it would be, and the text is very tiny. So this is going to be a long read, but so far it is very interesting. Just dipping into it. I'll probably do like a full-on review on this book as well once I finish it. Or if it turns out to be terrible and I never finish it, then I'll still review it. So that's that real quick. So rope bag. This is just a Sea to Summit, what is it called? Ultrasil dry bag. It's a 4-liter bag. I like the color gray, so I went with that. And in here, let me unclip it. I have 3. These are by Black Diamond locking carabiners. They unlock like this, and then you screw it, and then they are locked. And I'll go over the use for these as well. Then I also have 3, and this is a sling, also by Black Diamond, I believe. This one is 240 centimeters, and this one is, for me, it's an auto-locking carabiner. So you just turn it once, and it can open, and then it locks by itself, because I'm lazy. And so I have 3 of these, one for each of the boys. And this one is a locking one as well, but what I like about it, this one's made by Petzl, and it has this red stripe there. So if it's unlocked, you see red. I told them, red, you're dead. So when it's locked, there's no red. If it's unlocked, even just a little bit, you can see some red. So I thought that would be really good for them to get them into practice of making sure they were completely locked in. And so I've got 2 of those. So 3 slings altogether, and 3 slightly different style locking carabiners from these 3. So 6 locking carabiners total. And then I have 2 60mm slings. 2 of these guys. And then some rope. This is 8mm is the thickness, and this is climbing, I guess, accessory rope. I forget how much weight it is. But it's climbing grade, so it's like 4,000 something pounds of like sudden pressure, like if you were to fall, like that type of sudden type of so like static. I don't remember how much it holds, but yeah, so it's strong rope, and it's 8mm thick, which is more than enough for what we're using it for, and I've got 25 meters of it. In the other video, I said 32 meters. I don't know why I said that. It's actually 25 meters, and it fits into this 4-liter bag, all of this. So let me just go over what these are for real quick. So this is not rope that you'd want to use if you were doing like actual mountain climbing. You'd want something a bit thicker. But we're using this as like a confidence rope. We're using it for light rappelling. And realistically, this is more like an emergency scenario. Or in our case, realistically, more of a let's have fun scenario. Let's practice these skills scenario. But this is something that carrying rope in your bag with you, whether it's a get home bag or book out bag or your hiking bag, is just a really good idea. Here's some paracord. It's a lot thinner. And if I needed to climb, look at the difference there. It's pretty significant. If I needed to climb, this is a lot easier to grip than paracord is. Like, that's gonna hurt your hands. Building a harness or something out of this, a lot easier, not gonna cut into your skin as much. It's easier to tie knots with this. It's easier to untie knots with this than paracord, in my opinion. So this is just pretty nice stuff. This was 60 cents per foot from REI, so I spent a total of, I think, $50 for all of this. Ballpark. These are slings. These are actually by, who makes them? It starts with the M, I can't remember it. And let's see, Metolius. I don't know all these climbing brands, but they told me it was good. So this is 60 centimeters, and that length goes from, like, if it was like the circumference of it. So if you, unfolded it, what the length would be. So it's only about 30 this way. And it's, this is, again, climbing rated. I forget how many thousands of pounds of impact it can take. It's strong stuff designed to hold the human weight. And the purpose of these is it just makes it really quick and easy to wrap around, say, a rock. And just throw it on there, or wrap it around a tree. Let's pretend like this a tree, and just kind of loop it in and on itself, and clip your carabiner in there. This costs $5. Like I said, this was $50. Rocks are rough, trees are rough. I'd much rather tear this up than tear this up. So just wrapping this sling, super easy. Don't even have to tie a knot or anything. You're literally just wrapping it around. Throw it around there, loop it in on itself. That's what I did. You could also probably just clip in that way. To me, looping it around itself, like kind of like a hammock, just made sense, and that's how I did it. I don't see why you couldn't just clip into both if you wanted to. Let's see what difference it would make. Especially if maybe it wasn't quite long enough. And they come in different lengths. So there was, I think this was the smallest I saw, at least at REI. But they also have 120. Yeah, they had 60, 120, and 240, I guess. And they probably have 30 as well. Although I don't know what use of that would be, because you don't want to wrap around a tree, anyways, that's any skinnier than like your thigh. And so that's what we use these for, wrapping around the trees to hook into them with the carabiners. These longer ones, these are 240 centimeters. And we use these, well, you can use it for like a really thick tree, but also I make a harness out of this. And this is so light, negligibly light. I don't remember the weight, but like, you don't even notice this. It doesn't take up very much space, and it's multi-use. And this was only like $10, I think, 10, 15 bucks compared to how much a harness costs. That's really only one use. A harness is just a harness. It's a bit heavier, it's going to be bulkier, and definitely cost more. So this, I could use it to wrap around a tree. I can use it for various things because it's really just, think of it as cordage. If I ever untie it, it's huge. But it's also in a loop. And yeah, multi-use, lightweight, and inexpensive. And considering that we are not doing any real like rock climbing or anything like that, perfect for a makeshift harness in my opinion. And I'll do another video showing how we tie that up to make a harness. And then, yeah, so the carabiners, use this to clip to this guy, into the tree. So we wrap around our tree, clip into it, and then I can tie my rope to this using my knot of choice, whichever that's going to be. And now this is just basically, we're using this as like either to rappel down a slope, not a cliff or anything, just like little hills, rocky slopes where, you know, you might slip and fall and get muddy. Not breaking your neck or anything. If you're going to be doing that type of climbing, you probably should get a harness and real rope and do the real thing. But we're just talking about hiking and maybe going off trail a little bit. And I've got two clumsy teenagers, or almost teenagers, wannabe teenagers. And so having something like this is just adds an extra layer of fun and danger to the expedition and to our missions. They're always talking about missions. And building some skills and keeps them dry and clean. Kind of. Not really. But that's the thought. So that's how we're using those. And that's what's in the bag. And I'm going to leave this video at that. Like and subscribe. The next video that I'm going to record right now is how to make a harness out of this that works pretty doggone good. So if you want to see that, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay tuned, and that's going to be coming up very soon. See you guys in the next video.